19 years into understanding this concept called the long tail. And of course, engagement and maintaining customer loyalty and just eyeballs in general is the battle du jour. But I'm just curious from all of your perspectives where you see AI working. And by the way, Alan mentioned Iris, which of course has its flavors of AI. So Bethany, I'm going to throw that one to you first.
Yeah, so like I was saying before, we generally use AI for just combing through all of the mountains of data that we have across our different channels, our different platforms. We definitely believe in the importance of the human element of creating our programs on our channels. So we're really not leveraging that to create the content, but we are using it just to make sure that everything is being surfaced. And that also enables us to surface new artists that might not be top of mind for everyone watching, but because the data is organized so cleanly, we're able to find rising artists who are new in hip hop and put them on our Vevo hip hop channel and give them a platform and give them an opportunity to be seen in a CTV environment. Yeah,
which is and Daniel, I'm sure you've got some homegrown AI that you use in addition to any other major vendors that you might use. Talk about some of your war stories in trying to implement AI to know thy audience better.
Yeah, a lot of what you see on a streaming homepage is personalized to you and your past viewing behavior and what similar viewers to you have viewed in the past as well. The human element there that still is really vital is pointing the algorithm in the correct direction. So that's setting the key input and key output metrics and determining, are you going to optimize for the most active viewers you can get on your service in a given day? Are you going to optimize for the most viewing hours you can get on your service in a given day? Are you going to optimize for the frequency with which users come back in a month? These are all that gets fed through the pipeline that ultimately becomes what the user sees. But that's the fundamental question to kick everything off each time.
And yeah, and I think that certainly this will get better and better, but you've got to do that for also millions of viewers and also devices as well. Alan, AI, just a few words from you as to where you see this either failing or what incremental steps to adding and aiding the service provider.
Yeah, I think AI is going to be a huge game changer. We're already seeing it now. There's companies out there like iBuy and Curve that are actually even able to go through and identify what's going on in different scenes. So the sort of the thing that we always talk about is nobody wants to run their funny commercial during the funeral scene of a show. And it's been very hard to kind of identify that. And now they're able to do that, to sort of understand the emotions, and even other things, like if I'm Cadillac and Matthew McConaughey is in a scene, I want to run my ad there because he's in my ads too, so it creates a nice synergy. So all that kind of stuff, and then even understanding what sorts of shows viewers like, and sort of being able to more personalize their feeds. That's going to be huge. I'm sure Bethany, you guys are probably thinking about that with Vevo, because hey, here's a way to kind of, that worked for Spotify, and it's such a natural fit. But even with longer form stuff, it's just such an exciting time, and the ability to do this is just going to be incredible.
Yeah, we've seen this, over a number of years, particularly in Europe, with companies like VM Labs working with Viaplay and others, more on recommendation and curatorial things. But Paul, since you brought it up earlier about the the holiness of metadata, I'm just curious in terms of things like ad frequency and ad fatigue. Talk about how that needs to be solved and what you're seeing in terms of solutions that way.
Well, certainly, I think AI will help in that. But I guess my thoughts on this. Ad overload and poor targeting, they're always going to be a net negative for engagement and retention, which then obviously impacts your ROI over time. My thought on this is, content is the lifeblood of any video operation, whether that's traditional broadcast, a streaming service, fast channel, what have you. And it can make or break make or break the economics of your service. The right content brings people in, keeps them there, and brings them back, of course. But running out of content leads to them churning or dropping off. Spending too much on that content, no matter how good and relevant it is, will put you upside down ROI wise. So, today I think we're finally seeing serious, judicious review of content spend when it comes to acquisitions and commissions to ensure that overall content budgets are being used efficiently and profitably. I think when it comes to ad frequency and poor demographic data, those are always going to be concerns, but I think that those are its own problem to solve and very specific to FAST right now. So I think that there's a lot of activity going on there. Hopefully it's going to be improved, and it is improving. But I think, first and foremost, the level of content that you have, and that, let me reword that, to make sure that you are spending your budget judiciously on the right kinds of content, and whether that's an original commission or you're licensing it, I think that's still going to be fundamental to your service success.